name is Julia and welcome back to my garden. This year's Big Summer Reading Challenge is all about nature, and so today we're going to be exploring the garden for some mini beasts. So what is a mini beast?
Well, mini beasts are usually really small creatures that we can find almost anywhere in the world. You'll definitely be able to find some in your gardens today. Look out for bees, butterflies, slugs and snails.
Mini beasts are absolutely incredible creatures, and it's really important that we look after them. So today I'm going to show you 3 different ways of making a bug hotel for your garden, balcony or even windowsill. Let's get crafting! Now there are 3 steps to follow when making any kind of bug hotel. The first step is to choose our base, and I've made a list here of all the different types of materials that we can use as a base. Make sure to have a little rummage through your recycling bin for anything that you are going to throw away that will be useful in this task. Step 2 is to choose your filling, and again this is a perfect opportunity to go rummaging through our recycling bins for any bits of newspaper and card that we can use in our filling. We can also go for nature walks, looking around us in our own gardens for all of the dried leaves and twigs that we can find to put in our hotels. The third and final step of this bug hotel is to find a location, a nice shady spot that's cool and out of the sunshine, because most bugs prefer to be hidden away in darker areas. So we're going to start with bug hotel number 1. And do we remember the first step? That's right, it's to choose our base. Now for this bug hotel, I'm going to choose an old mug, which I don't use anymore. Now this is absolutely perfect to choose as a base because you probably have an old mug or a flower pot somewhere with a crack in it, so you can't use it anymore, but it's still waterproof, and if it has a handle, it means we can hang it onto a branch, which makes it very easy to place. Now I would like to make this for some bees, potentially some solitary bees which don't have a hive to live inside of. And for bees, the perfect thing to do is make some tubes like this. You could use bamboo cane, but this is really simple and it uses up any bits of newspaper you might have hanging around the house. So this is really simple. Using a wooden spoon handle, we're going to wrap our newspaper around the handle all the way, just like this. Perfect. And I'm going to take a little bit of glue. I'm going to use some PVA, but you could use a Pritt stick. And I'm going to make a little line, fold it over, smooth it all the way around, and then I'm going to ease that off. And we're going to put that in the sunshine to dry. And we're going to make quite a few of these to fill up our entire base here. And we want to pack them in nice and tightly. So there we go. I made quite a few earlier on, so I can already fill up our base with all of these. And all we're going to do, I'm just going to pop them all in, pack them in nice and tightly, and any space we have left over we can fill with twigs, dried leaves, little acorn cups, anything around the garden. But make sure if we are hunting for little bits and bobs around the garden, we wear our gardening gloves, because we don't know how sharp or how dirty some bits we pick up are going to be. And wash your hands as well. Lovely. There we go. That's quite a few of our tubes pressed in there, and make sure that they don't stand up too tall, otherwise they'll get wet and everything will start to rot. So there we go, lovely. And then I'm just going to fill the gaps with a couple of little bits of dried leaf, which I've got here. Just a couple of little bits I'm going to break up into little small sections, and I'm just going to squish them down in between the tubes provides a bit of warmth for our bees. Lovely. So step number 3, let's go and find a spot to hang our little hotel.
This is a perfect spot to put our little hotel because it's in the hedge, which means it's nice and shady and protected, stays nice and cool, and also it's right near all of our raised beds and our little plants. So it means that any little bees that go in there can help to pollinate our plants.
For bug hotel number 2, we're going to be using another base. This time it's a plastic bottle. So adults, if you can use a very sharp pair of scissors, can you cut off the very top of our bottle, please? So once we've cut the top off of our plastic bottle and made sure there aren't any really sharp edges, we're going to take our box of recycling materials and we're going to start filling up our bottle. I've got some lovely cardboard here and I'm just going to start rolling it up really roughly, rolling it up so that it will fit inside our tube like this. Wonderful. And you can see in here there are lots of nooks and crannies for our bugs to get into. So what's next? I think we can put in a few bits of newspaper. If we've got any newspaper left, I'm just going to put that down the side there. We've got a few bits like this of more cardboard boxes, and the nice thing about this, we can just slot them in randomly like this, or we can even curl one up really roughly and pop it into one of our little areas there. Now we don't want to fill it up too much because obviously the bugs are going to want to be able to crawl in and explore their way around our lovely little hotel. So make sure you don't put too much stuff in there, but we also want to make them feel nice and cosy. So using my gardening gloves again, I'm going to delve into whatever is left in our little nature stash. So I've still got some little acorn cups, some twigs and some dried leaves, and I'm just going to gently push them into the gaps that we still have left in between our cardboard. And we want to push them down quite far because remember, the bugs are going to want to explore all the way down to the bottom. Woo! Some bits are escaping already. The good thing about this being plastic is that wherever we hide this, we can check up to see which insects have moved in, which is lovely to see the progress. I'm going to put in a couple of extra bits, and then once we feel happy with the amount of bits in our hotel, we're going to go and do step number 3, which is finding a spot for our lovely bug hotel. Now I think I found a lovely spot for our second bug hotel. This is right underneath a really lovely tree and next to a bush. We've got lots of lovely undergrowth here to protect our hotel. And I'm just going to position it here with it facing slightly up on a gradient, just to make sure that it's nice and protected. For bug hotel number 3, I'm going to do the steps in a slightly different order. I'm going to start with step number 3 because I think this is a lovely spot to put another hotel. We're in a lovely shady area of the garden right at the back by the fence, and we've already got some bricks down here as a lovely base. So this one, I'm going to build up a couple of walls using 2 of our bricks. What I've done here is I've piled 2 bricks on top of each other and another 2 bricks on top of each other here. I've made sure that there's enough height so I can put some of our materials here and that the bugs can come in and out, but also that they're close enough that I can put something on top as a roof. I'm going to use my recycling box here full of little bits and bobs, and I'm going to start building up a little place for our insect friends. I'm going to put 3 tubes here, and I'm going to put probably 2 tubes on top, 2 tubes at the side, and maybe 1 more in the middle. Lovely, and that's all nicely packed in. This means that I can now use the rest of my recycling box and also bits and bobs from around the garden to fill in some of these little gaps. We don't want to fill up the tubes too much, making sure that there's enough space for all of the mini beasts to get in and out, but we want to keep it nice and cozy so they feel nice and protected. Can complete our lovely hotel with a square brick, which I'm just going to place gently on top, making sure it's resting nice and firmly on our bricks and making sure it keeps a nice little roof for our filling. Now there's only one more job left to do, and I think that we need to name our special hotels. So for our first one, I'm going to name this the Insect Inn. Our second hotel has to be the Creepy Crawly Cottage. And our third hotel, what else could it be than Mini Beast Manor? Well, thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about mini beasts too. And let us know how you get on with making your very own mini beast hotels. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye!